Good morning. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing, with today's pre-opening grain and livestock comment for Monday, September 8th, 2025. I did my deep dive on the weekend. I spent about 4 hours. I did multiple charts. I always do that. So if you're interested in all my analysis, sign up for that letter. Um, I send one out Monday through Friday, and then I do a big weekly one. And on that weekly one, um, we had a 35-cent bounce off the bottom in corn after an 88-cent slide. So it wasn't what we wanted. We obviously need more, but when we start the day here a little bit lower in corn, overnight we had a 3-cent range. Corn's trading 4.16 and a quarter, out a penny and three quarters. We really need to get above 4.25 and then take a run at the July 4th gap, which is up there around 32 and three quarters, 33, 34. Uh, the positive from last week, the funds covered another 20,000 contracts of corn. So, I mean, I know people love to hate the funds, but they just go where the money is. And if we can squeeze them a little bit more, if we can get a little bit more news, last week we had to talk about an early frost. It didn't show up. So we got to get after it with something with Mother Nature. But the stage is set. We've had a good bounce. 416 is better than 392 the last time I checked. Novi beans overnight, another 6-cent trading range, 31 to 24. We're trading at 10.28 and a quarter, up a penny and a quarter. Again, I think we're going to be fighting it out there at the 102-day moving average until we get more and more yield reports. Uh, Wheat across the board, we're at contract lows. I don't know how to put lipstick on that pig. I mean, it's hopefully we can get a recovery. If we're going to get a recovery, it's going to be because of corn. Overnight, another a nickel range and D sweet. We're trading at 521 and a half, up two and a quarter cent. Kansas City wheat up 2.5 cents at 507 and three quarters. Minneapolis, it's trading right around 565, 567. Um, Again, the funds don't have a massive short position in wheat. They could cover it, but they are short wheat. So the stage is set for there as well. We're getting down here at these 5-year lows. I think that if you are a bottom fisher, this is the time you want to use call options. Call options let you, if you buy a call option or a spread, it lets you define your risk so that you don't get run over. We've had these multiple times where we go to bed at night, we're down 10 cents, and nobody wants to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning trading wheat. So that's why I suggest using options. You don't get stopped out. They can whipsaw you back 3 or 4 times, and that option sits there. That's sometimes a better strategy than trading futures. And we're going to see what happens today in the cattle. Last week in fat cattle and feeder cattle, we broke streaks, 7 weeks and 11 weeks. That's been since we had a lower weekly close in those contracts. So, is the top end? I have no idea. People that have tried to call the top for the last, 10 months have been completely wrong. I don't try to call tops. I do look for opportunities to set up hedges. If you're a rancher, you're always long the cattle. You want to make sure that you keep the upside open and you keep a good floor because you don't want to go to bed at night and have some politician say something. And the next thing you know, we're down 10, 15, $20. And you're like, oh, I missed the boat. So get your put on, sit tight. We'll see. We'll all find out together. I was on market to market this weekend, and one of the questions was, should I stop growing wheat and should I move to cattle? That to me, when people are starting to think about that, it's just a sign. If you read a lot of history or study people, when people get ready to throw the towel in because they're so exasperated because they're getting run over both directions. We could be nearing a bottom in the grains, and we could be nearing a top in the cattle when people are starting to make emotional decisions like that. Now, that's not a promise. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not a guru, but signs like that means we could be getting late in the game. It doesn't mean we can't go lower in wheat. It doesn't mean we can't go higher in cattle. But if people are actively starting to think about that now, it just kind of gives me pause. So that's how I want to clarify that. If we knew where the prices were going to go, we wouldn't need to hedge. But since we don't, we set the hedge. Okay, this is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing, 312 638 8868. if you want a customized program, if you want to call me up, I don't care if you've got 500 acres or 5,000 acres or 15,000 acres or whatever your operation is. It's all risk at this point. And what I can help you with is to make better cash sales, and I can help you choose areas that just set good hedges. And if you'd like to have a talk about that, give me a call. Have a great day.